entry and exit places to get in the market, reasonable risk management strategies. So your job is to just be selective at the things that you're going to do when it comes to your trading. Take the trade and get out the trade at timely fashions when you see the market is not cooperating. Your job is to be satisfied with whatever the market gives you, accept it. Your job is to remain green, not greedy, in the market. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So if I was to give you anything in what I'm speaking to you into today, is that be selective in your trades. And if you're looking for longer trades or higher grossing trades, then be realistic at what the market possibly will or will not do at any given time. And if the market is not producing a volatile market where you will get big runs, then you need to be okay to accept it and not be driven to have over expectations when it comes to your market or your market trading. You see, to be a consistent winner, you must be consistent at your strategy. You must be doing the same thing over and over again. It is called rinse and repeat. Be okay. Be okay with yourself. Be okay with your performance. Never let the greedy and their friends get into your life. And that is fear, FOMO, revenge trading, impatience, over trading. The best thing to protect you when it comes to this area of greed is to have a trading plan. If you're working with me or DTC coaching, you have a trading plan and a strategy. You know how to get into trades. You know where to set your your highest probability of success to placing your trades, as well as where you have placed your targets to take profit. One of my students today asked, well, when do you know when it's time to move your target? Well, myself, when I move my target, I will get in the trade and I will look at the places of support and resistance or supply and demand, and I will put my expectations in the regions, and I will immediately move my target to the area where I think price is going to be opposing my trend or my trade direction, and I will take profit there. That is not being greedy, because if we have a standard taking profit at 45, 30, and 45 points in the trade, but then there are a lot of times I would adjust my trade to make it 95 points. If I see that's the first place of significant opposition to my trade direction, and therefore before I get there, I would take the profit off the table. And that is not being greedy. That is a planned trade. So when you're trading, set your trade up at the very onset of entering your trade. And if your standard automatic trading ATM strategy, that's all the strategy with Ninja Trader platform, is in place, and you need to just adjust at the very beginning. But once you set your targets in place, then leave your targets as they are. In any event that you see a need to move your stop or adjust your target, I highly suggest that you cut the trade and call it a day on your trading, because green is green, guys. And to be a consistent winner, you have to have a clear trade management principles in place on how you're going to take your trades and manage your trades. So time, I guess that's it there. So I'm going to give you my pledges that I think that you should be owning for yourself. And I want you to write this down or take a screenshot of these 8 things I'm going to give you. And I want this to be your self-talk. Because what do you say when you talk to yourself? What do you say when you talk to yourself? And this is I am. Okay, the biggest part of this is I am a consistent winner because. And then once you have that, then I want you to, this is every day, guys, because this is called reprogramming our subconscious mind to not be greedy, to take what the market have to give us, to look at the data objectively. And these words that I'm giving you, own them. I didn't write them, but they were so good, I adopt them and I own them now because they're mine. And you read this to yourself right where you are, with your mic muted, and I am is the key word. I am objectively identifying my edges. I am, I predefine, that don't sound right. I predefine my risk in every trade because I'm a consistent winner. I completely accept the risk or I'm willing to let go of the trade because I am a consistent winner. I act on my edges without reservation or hesitation because I am a consistent winner. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me because I am a consistent winner. I continually monitor my susceptibility for making errors because I am a consistent winner. I understand the absolute necessity of these principles of consistent success, and therefore I never violate them because I am a consistent winner. Consistent winner, this is for you. 20-day challenge. I want you to set your daily target, whether it be $250 a day, $500 a day, $900 a day, whatever that number is. I want you to set that target, and each day you hit that target, you take the gain out of the market and you stop trading for that day. If you do this, you're in 21 days to create a new habit. If you do this, you're going to find out that it's going to be easier for you to be in the market objectively, taking what the market have to give you, and greed would never hold you hostage again. Now, let's think about the numbers. $200 a day is $50,000 a year. That's not bad for a day's living. And you know, if you're trading with DTC coaching, $250 comes up real easy in a trade. Some of our goals are much bigger. So if it's $500 a day, that's fine. If it's $900 a day, which is equals to $18,000 a month, most of us don't make $18,000 a month. So what if you hit this challenge and you hit your goal half the time? Well, you take that daily number and you divide it in half, that monthly number divided in half, you would end up making half that amount, which is not bad. Half of 18,000 is 9,000. Half of 10,000 is 5,000. Half of 4,000 is 2,000. That's a pretty good addition to your income. So I challenge you guys for 20 days. Make this a challenge to be green for 20 days in a row. Some days you're going to make more. Some days you're going to make less. But the whole goal is to get out the market green each day, if you can. But if not each day, then have a green week. This is a challenge because you always are acting in your own best interest. You're never greedy. You never have FOMO trading. I'll give you guys this here. I want you to be this pro trader. That's the blue. What's important to you? Patience, keeping your emotions in check, because if you're greedy, your emotions are not in check. Your emotions are controlling your trade. Psychologically, keeping your mindset in the right position, feeding your subconscious mind healthy, positive information that's in line with your goals and your disciplines for your trading strategy and your goals for your trading career and your weekly, monthly, and annual goals for your career. It's all built in your psychological makeup. So what that means to you, that as a trader, you are disciplined. You wait for the best trading setups. No emotional trading, no FOMO trading at all, no revenge trading at all. Why? Because you're not greedy. You're not checked into your emotions. You're very disciplined. You're very objectively looking at the market. In fact, you have a cold mindset and you have correct expectations out of the market. So the market's going to give, you're going to accept that with good cheer and leave green every day. Once your emotions and your psychological mindset is made up and is correct, then risk management is the next area of your trading strategy that you must be in tune with and have great respect for how much money you're risking in the market. So your first job as a risk manager is protecting your capital, correctly sizing your positions, managing your trades that you're in, and the risk assessment for every trade that you take. All trades require different amount of risk requirements to be in the trades, because we know that we set our stops behind our pivot to the left. Sometimes that stop is too far away, therefore we have to pass on that trade, wait for a better opportunity to get in that's more in line with our risk management strategy. Stop placement, guys, is everything. Is setting your clear profit target where it should be at in your trade is so important. And technical analysis is the last thing on the list, guys. And don't get yourself caught up in what moving averages are, what these support resistance lines means, and all the different things. We teach you here at DTZ Coaching exactly what that means for you. So don't be an expert there, but be an expert in your patience, your emotions, your psychology. Be an expert in your risk management. This is where success is at. This is where it breeds. And here at Dominant Coaching, we believe 100% in these principles that we're speaking about. And I know that you are in control of everything that you do. I am Coach Kelvin, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. God bless and be safe. All right, guys. So greed is not your friend. Greed is your enemy. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we're mindful of our trades, plan, get in, plan where to get out, and plan what amount of risk that we're going to have exposed at any given time. And greed is started with our emotional bank of thinking and making decisions. So whenever we get emotional trading, we lose our objectivity, and therefore we're having trouble. So you can open your mic up, guys, and ask me any questions, make any comments. Hey, Vina.
Yeah, greed is like greed is a very important thing to consider. I feel like I didn't realize how greedy of a person I can be, even though I feel I'm a good person overall, right? I have good values, morals, and all that. And taking into consideration a lot of our previous mindset talks and just how we were, brought up, taught this, that, and that. It really evolves around the psychology regarding money. And I think the hardest part about greed is that it takes you to a place where it transforms you into somebody that you're not, or at least the worst version of you, or like the worst version, but there could be better versions of you, of course. And I think that's like the difficult part when trying to maneuver it. But then that really just comes back down to trying to become the master of your emotions, rewiring your thought process, and really just, like you said, rinse and repeat with all of your processes. So I think that's something I tend to struggle with in terms of greed. Like before it was fear, before it was this. Like I feel like this whole trading game is like it's an umbrella of emotions that you truly have to master. And I think that's what makes it more complex. Having like a basket of things, but it's like you go through these different levels of success, but like every level there's a new devil, and but greed's always at every single level.
Yes.
And I think that's the hardest part. You say, you're green. Now the challenge is to stay green, and I've had that challenge so many times. But
Yes.
I tend to overtrade a lot. I'm an impulse trader, like XYZ. I have bad habits, and it really just comes down to my brain, because I'm the one that's sending the signal to press the button, whatever the case may be. And I think that's the most difficult part when it comes to trading. But greed is definitely a demon to battle, and I think it's just being more conscious of the plan that you set forth, and really just trying to follow that, even though that's painful. And I feel like I say it time and time again, where like, yeah, it may be painful to trade me around, or maybe you have a FOMO or whatever, but it's even more painful when you're green and you lose it, or when you cannot master your emotions, right? I think that's a hard part, and that's a part of execution too. Not only like should we not, should we be conscious of not hesitating to pull the trigger when to enter and exit these trades. And I think that's like a fine line too. Sorry, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but like I think that's like a fine line too. You know, hesitating to pull the trigger, to not pull the trigger, and sometimes that can lead into like the impulsivity that I tend to experience, you know, throughout my trading career. So, yeah, you know, greed's a tough one. Greed's a tough one. That's something that I'm still working on and working through. But you know, it takes time and it takes patience and a lot of discipline and a lot of reminding yourself of what we're practicing. And like, yeah, we're practicing to be professional traders, but at the end of the day, like it's an overall practice, like with your mind and with your psychology. And I think that translates not only in trading but just in life.
Yes, yes. Good observation, Vina. And the thing is that greed really is founded in scarcity. So when you never had enough and you get something, you want to hold on to it, or you want to get as much as you can, but you don't think you're going to get the next opportunity. So it kind of distorts your objectivity. But if you can master this art of greed, this monster of greed, not art of greed, monster of greed, then you will find out you'll be more objective to your trades. Because let's say you plan your trades and you look at the trade and you see opposition at 50 points away. So you figure you're going to take profit around 45 points into the trade because that's the most optimum area that you can get to. And pretty surely you'll make that number. Okay, the opposition at 50, but then the price moved past the 45, past the 50, and you didn't take your profit. And you say, well, it can go even further. Now, hear this out. You haven't scaled, you haven't taken any other trade. Then the trade, as soon as it gets to that level, it breaks above the 50 points, but then turns around sharply and comes back against you, drops 15, 20 points. Because you've set yourself in the place of not sticking with your plan, you're going to hold to that trade longer and say, well, it's going to come back. And it keep falling. And now it's 20 points. Now it's 30 points. And it's going to come back. And you won't get out the trade until the pain gets so variable of what you unrealized gain that you didn't take. You're going to get out the trade with about 5 or 10 points where you left 50 points on the table. Because greed set in. Greed will force you to demand more from the market than the market is willing to give at that time. Greed will cause you to readjust your stop targets, to readjust your profit targets throughout your trade. So therefore, you have no strategy. So a strategy is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. I see this setup. I take this trade. I take profit at this level here. I have my risk level here, and I do the same thing all the time. We call that rinse and repeat. A greedy person or a fearful person will always be adjusting their stops, their profit targets, and they have no system in place, no strategy in place, and they have edges that they do not trust because each time they'll take a trade at the actionable signal, they'll start messing with the stops and take profits. So it's really not an edge. You're just saying, I hope it works. To know if something worked, you must continue using the same thing over and over again for a certain period of time and measure your results, and then you come up with statistics of whether it will or will not work. Guys, if nothing I can say to you is this here, is strategy is the cousin to consistency. Consistency will give you everything you want in life in the art of trading if you have a system, a strategy in place that you implement only. I was mentoring earlier today about my wife trading, and I showed her this one play, nothing else. And I tried to show her something else. She says, oh no, this works. Why are you telling me to take another trade? And I had to reel back and say, well, you know, you're right. If you don't see that, don't trade. So she went through a whole day of trading, doing back testing, and she was 4 out of 5. She made something like $3,800. And all she took was one type of trade. She didn't know nothing else. She just took this one thing. And I showed it to you guys this morning. I'm going to show it to you again tomorrow morning. I'm showing it again the next day. Look for these setups, and they're going to have a pattern to every one of them. We have about 10 different strategies built into the system, but we have A+ setups, we got B setups, we got C setups, and you have to determine which type of trader are you. My wife said, I'm a conservative trader. So I'm going to only take the ones that I know are going to have the highest probability of giving me success. So she said, I don't want to look at the pullbacks. I don't want to look at this here. I don't want to look at that. Let me see when I see this. That's the 45-degree angle on my MACD, 45-degree angle on my moving average. The strength meters are pegging up 3 to 4 to 1 against the opposition. That's the trade I'm taking. And sure enough, she made 4 out of 5 of her trades, hit her targets on every last one of them. Only one of them was a failure. Now, that's consistency. That's having one strategy, one plan, and letting it play itself out. Your job for consistency is to have a strategy, stick with the plan, and let the trade work itself out. Only take the ones that line up with your strategy. Which one gives you the highest percentage of win rate? I know mine is VWAP. I'm 70% or better at VWAP. I take VWAP trades without hesitation. Now, it doesn't mean I have other trades that work, but I know VWAP is my highest percentage producer. Which is for you? Is it VWAP? Is it the turn of the high or low of the hour? Is it the breaking major area support resistance? What is it that is your number one go-to? Do you know it? If you don't, then you can find out by holding statistical numbers on your trades. How many was winners? How many was losers? What was gain? What was my loss? Over time, you would have a statistic on what you're trading. If you're not journaling, you don't know what you're doing. You're just trading. So the key to winning is measuring, keeping records, and that's journaling, and doing the same thing over a period of time and see if it works or not. Every trade you take is not going to work because you're taking 25 different strategies that don't work. But what is your top 3? And then only trade them 3 for a period of 30 days, and then see your numbers and see if you're a consistent winner. Or if you're not at least 50% win rate, then we need to make some adjustments. I think the strategy that I'm giving you guys in the system, they work. You don't know they work until you start recording data and then start to see what your win ratio and loss ratio, how they match up to each other. It takes about 6 weeks to learn the system. Now, not to necessarily learn it, but to trust it. When it happens here, the last 6 weeks has done this or done that, and then that's how you're going to keep yourself moving in the right direction to booking up gains. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to pause. Question, do I have a question for anyone else online? Okay, great. Hey guys, hopefully you got one thing.